What's going on, everybody? Travis here with the Itch to Fish, coming at you with a video of why spinner fishing, spinner rig, crawler harnesses, whatever you want to call them, is really the best way, in my opinion, to catch walleye, anywhere from late spring all the way till the middle of fall. We're just going to go over a few tips today, why it works, how it works, and why it gets the walleyes so excited when they see this thing come swimming by them at the bottom of the lake or river, wherever you're fishing. I'm going to talk a little bit about today why this works in the St. Clair River system so well, but really you can apply this absolutely anywhere. So let's talk about terminal tackle here. Number one, this is your standard bottom bouncer. This is the style that I like to use the best. I think you can get a package of this for about $5. It comes with two. This is an Eagle Claw. Reason why I like this so much is, if I can get this undone here, it has your eyelet. You tie it to this, and then it has your quick snap swivel to where you would put on your spinners. Now, most spinners will either come with a pre-tied loop, kind of like that, if you can see it. Got the glare there, but also sometimes it'll come with another little swivel right here. So I would just simply put that on there like so. We'll use the pre-tied, and boom, now you got your setup going all the way to your spinner. Obviously I'm in my house right now, so I don't have a full live night crawler on there, but we put on a Lunker City ribster worm just to kind of show you the profile of what you're looking at when it's actually in the water. So why does this work so well, and how do you work it? Number one, this is a 2-ounce bouncer. Rule of thumb is 1 ounce from 1 to 10 feet. Anything over 10 to 20 feet, I'm using a 2-ounce. Anything over 20 feet, so 20 feet to 50 feet, I'm going to bump that up to about a 2.5 or a 3-ouncer. My go-to, though, pretty much at all times, is that 2-ouncer. I'm not really trying to fish for walleye in anything deeper than 35 feet of water. Sometimes I'll fish them at 40, depending on the water, the body of water that I'm fishing, but most likely I'm not fishing anything deeper than about 32. Especially if I am not keeping the fish, I don't like to bring them up in anything really deeper than 30 feet of water. So 2 ounce is my go-to. If you're fishing the St. Clair River, 2 ounce, 3 ounce is really going to be all you need. If the water is ripping from the wind, you might want to bump it up to a 3 ounce. And if you are feeling crazy and you want to fish in that 40 to 50 feet of water, which that river does hold, you are more than welcome to get after it with a 3 or even a 4 ounce bottom bouncer. But my standard go-to, like I said, 2 ounce attached to a 3. This is a 3-foot snell. You can get anywhere up to 6, or if you tie your own, you can make it 8, 9. Doesn't really matter. Different bodies of water, obviously walleyes will be a little bit more antsy to bite, but when you're on the St. Clair River system, I'm telling you, you can catch fish no matter what you throw down there. You really just have to present it in the right manner, the right way, and go over a school of fish, and you're going to get bit no matter what. So how does this work? All I'm doing is I'm simply letting this thing free fall all the way down to the bottom. Sometimes I'll let out about 10 feet, let it go a little bit so this doesn't tangle all up in itself, because this is a freaking mess. There's one thing I don't like about spinner fishing, it's how messy and tangly things can get if you do it incorrectly. So, but I'm letting this down about 10 feet at a time, stopping my bail, let it, kind of straighten out. Dropping it more, let it straighten out, dropping it all the way down to the bottom until I feel, obviously this is 2 ounce weight, so it's pretty heavy. You're going to feel that thing hit the bottom. Once I feel it hit the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my bail, and I'm going to bring my rod tip back this way. Once I bring it all the way back this way and I can still feel it on bottom, I want to find that bliss point from where I can feel bottom to that 3 to 4 inch range to where I can no longer feel it. And when you have a 2-ounce bottom bouncer, you're going to feel your rod tip pretty much doing this thing, scraping the bottom. Depending on the water that you're in, the St. Clair River is is made up primarily of small rocks. So you're going to feel that tick, 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 tick if this thing is ticking the bottom on the ground. What I want to do, again, bring it about 4 to 5 inches to where I don't feel that tick, but if I were to drop the rod tip back, again, that another 3 to 4 inches, I'm going to feel that. Now, obviously, if you're fishing the St. Clair River, the water is constantly changing depth. So I just want to be in that general range where this is about 6 inches off the bottom. What that does is that presents that bait in a perfect manner, about 6 to a foot off the bottom, depending on how fast you're going. So this thing's burning across the bottom, right in their strike zone. Obviously, during the day, walleyes are hunkered down on the bottom, looking up, waiting for a meal to cruise by them or to ambush some prey. They're waiting for all the bait fish to swim by so they can come up and get a quick, easy meal. And that's what this is. It's really a quick, easy meal that turns them on. So obviously, we got our business in the front. Let's talk about the party in the back. So this is just a standard spinner and attached, like I said, to a plastic. For now, normally I would put on a full night crawler. 9 out of 10 times I put on a night crawler. Some people do leeches. Some people even do plastics, but I usually prefer a night crawler, especially on the St. Clair River system. This is a Indiana blade. Usually I like the Colorado blades. You can get anywhere from 2 to 4, sometimes 5 if you're feeling rowdy. Sometimes the bigger the thump, the bigger the fish. Not always true, but you can kind of experiment how you want. What I've found on the St. Clair River system, gold beads or red beads kill it, as well as a gold spinner absolutely kills it. But so does any color in the world. This is such a great fishery that it really doesn't matter what you're presenting to them. They're going to bite it if you're presenting it in the right way. Again, that 3 to 4 inches back, just off the bottom. If you're doing that and you're following the current, I promise you that you will get bit, no matter where you are in that river, anywhere from late spring to the middle of summer here. So that's pretty simple. There's a few different ways and a few different styles of blades that I like. Again, this is the Indiana. Typically, I'd go with the Colorado, but this was the easiest one that I found when I was just about to start the video here that I can just pull out of the bag. But really, all this is doing, this is spinning up here. They're keying on these beads, and then you put something with a great amount of smell, like a worm, that's moving around in a nice little circle. Turns these walleyes right on. They cannot resist this thing burning by them. If there's a few walleye down there and you're going through a school, they will actually compete to get that there. So that's one style. A new style that I really like, and again, I put a plastic on just to kind of show you what's going on here. But this is a new slow death style hook. Now this is a wonky looking hook. It's curved, so what it does is it's ripping through the water, and so it's the same way you're spinning it through the water just like that. This thing is actually going to roll. It's going to roll like yay. Now what that does is it adds just that much more attractant onto the bait. As the other one that I showed you was just going to be coming through in a straight line. Maybe the tail would be wiggling, whereas now you're going to be getting the spin from the spinner, but you're also going to be getting a really solid roll from the actual worm or leech that you have attached to that. And again, walleyes absolutely positively can't resist. Guys, I can't stress enough on the St. Clair River system. Don't get so caught up in these guys were catching in on this color, so I gotta catch that color. I've caught just as many walleyes on a 99-cent or a $2 spinner blade, as I did on a special custom this, that, and the other $6, $8, $9 custom painted spinner system. Also, guys, there's a small chance that you might get hung up, and if I'm fishing with $6, $7 spinner crawler harnesses, it's a lot less to swallow if it was only $2 than it was losing an $8 rig. So again, especially if you're new to this and you're still trying to figure out how the bottom works, how this really how to get better at this, it's really, I would say, by the cheaper end of the spectrum when it comes to these death roll things here. Cabela's, I believe these were $1.99. Catch just as many again with these $1.99 spinners as I do with anything that I've caught or spent more money on. So don't get hung up on the color. Don't get hung up on size either. Again, I like the 3 to 4s, but again, it doesn't matter if you're presenting the bait in the right way. You're gonna get bit. Doesn't matter the color, doesn't matter the size. Presenting it in the right way. I cannot stress that enough. That's all you really have to master. Once you can master that, you will catch fish. Plain and simple. Now, I also like to say to beginners as well, remember we talked about when you're letting this down and you're feeling that tick, 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 tick to bring it up a little bit. Sometimes for my beginners, I will say just leave it on the bottom, especially in the St. Clair River. It really doesn't screw things up that much. There's so many fish in that system that you don't have to really finesse these fish. In some water bodies of water, super clear bodies of water with limited fish, yeah, you might have to finesse it a little bit, and that might be your next stepping stone. But if you're really starting out, especially on the St. Clair River, don't be afraid to let that thing just tick on the bottom. You're going to be able to know that your bait is being presented properly down at the bottom, and you're going to be able to feel it, and you're definitely going to be able to tell on your pull, when this thing is just ticking along like this, tick, 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 and then you actually hook up into a fish or they bite it, this thing is going to wham down. Of course, I just bended that, so I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, guys, just don't get so caught up in color and size and this and that. Really get caught up on getting this bait down to the bottom in that strike zone so these fish turn on and smack it. Because I promise you, if you can go through a few schools of fish with some night crawlers, some spinner blades, and you're presenting it to them in the right area of the water column, which is really just being on the bottom, you're going to catch fish. And if you do this for a while, I guarantee you'll limit out, especially from mid-May to mid-July. I guarantee you will limit out. And if you don't, hit me up and I will take you out and I'll show you a few little pointers out there. So I hope this helped a little bit. Again, I'm sure I rambled on a little bit, but I hope that you can internalize that the biggest thing really from this is just knowing that color, size in the St. Clair River system does not matter as much as getting down to the bottom and presenting this bait in the right manner. And that's really just getting it down to the bottom. That's it. That's the easiest style of fishing that you could do. Get it down to the bottom, throw in a rod holder, crack a beer, and have a great day out on the water. So tight lines, everybody. Hope this helped. Do me 2 favors. If you like this video, please subscribe down below. Really, truly would appreciate it, as well as a thumbs up on this video. If this did any value to you at all, besides just get some entertainment from me just rambling on, feel free to share this out to any of your fishing buddies and get out there and catch some freaking walleye, guys. It's time to limit out. See you later.